tomorrow, what will you be telling premiers?
Well, tomorrow is an opportunity for us to compare notes, to get the most recent information that we've had. When we last met last Friday week, there was a lot we still didn't know about Omicron. We know more now, but there is still more to know. And the medical expert panel has met in between these two meetings, and I've already written to the premiers and set out the advice that they're providing, and there's important messages about the strong recommendation about mask use inside and things like that, and that's very sensible. But one of the key messages is, yes, we're going to need to continue to calibrate how we manage this virus and how we live with this virus in the face of Omicron. Of course that is necessary, but we're not going back to lockdowns. We're not going back to shutting down people's lives. We're going forward to live with this virus with common sense and responsibility. And there will be other variants beyond Omicron. And we have to ensure, as a country and as leaders around the country, we are putting in place measures that Australians can live with. And what that means is we have to move from a culture of mandates to a culture of responsibility. That's how we live with this virus into the future. Now, in my home state, New South Wales, people are already wearing masks. They're not being fined if they don't, because Australians know what is a common sense, responsible action to look after their own health and to look after the health of those around them. But as a country, we've got to get past the heavy hand of government, and we've got to treat Australians like adults. And we all have our own responsibility in our communities and for our own health. People should get vaccinated. If you don't get vaccinated, you're more likely to get the virus, get very serious illness from the virus, and to die from the virus. That is 3 very good reasons why you should get vaccinated. Equally, it's important that you practice other common sense behaviours like washing your hands, keeping appropriate distances, but you don't need to get the ruler out, and you don't need to get people to come around hitting you with fines. We just need to live with this virus sensibly and practically, from mandates to responsibility. And as governments around the country, because as you know, the states have the total authority when it comes to public health orders. The Commonwealth does not have the power to direct those state and territory governments. And so what I'll be saying to them, and I know a number of premiers agree with this, is that we've got to move to the next phase of how we live with this virus. The time for that heavy hand is behind us. The time, I think, for knowing and trusting Australians who've proven themselves with one of the highest vaccination rates in the world, with one of the strongest economies coming out of this pandemic. 180,000 more people in jobs today than before the pandemic, and of course one of the lowest death rates in the world from COVID. So we need to keep listening to the advice, being sensible, move forward, allow Australians to live with this virus responsibly. Take the issues incredibly seriously, but let's live with this together and responsibly.